Ah, what a lovely breeze. Truly, there is nothing so liberating as the great outdoors.
Your Majesty, Hubert is looking for you. My apologies. I didn't realize you were resting.
I only stepped out for a bit of fresh air. I'll be ready to return shortly.
Oh no! Please don't rush back on my account. I am more than happy to keep Hubert occupied in the meantime. Please, Your Majesty, enjoy yourself. I'll simply tell him I failed to find you. Ah, and are you cold? I can bring you a coat and some hot tea.
I appreciate the concern, Monica, but I'm quite all right. But while you're here, there is something I must tell you.
Why are you staring at me, Your Majesty? Is there something on my face?
I was only going to say how fortunate we are to have you with us. Those who slither in the dark had you in their clutches. In another world, we might have lost you to them forever.
Ha! Ha! Man, there's no way that could have happened, right? Ha ha! Ha!
Yes. It seemed they were only keeping me alive so they could use me for some kind of dark ritual. And I can only assume that would not have ended with me alive and well. You saved my life. I wish I could express what an honor it was to be personally rescued by the woman I've dedicated my entire life to.
That's kind of you to say, but I only did it because I needed the military leverage.
That doesn't matter. I'm serious when I say that the day you rescued me was the day I stopped simply idolizing you and decided you were the one for me.
The one for you?
Yes. You risked your life to protect a lowly noble like me.
You need to understand the situation, Monica. I was fully prepared to sacrifice you if doing so would bring me even one step closer to achieving my goals. I had no intention of rescuing you until right before the opportunity presented itself.
Oh, but, why not?
I was under the impression that those who slither in the dark needed you quite badly.
Dude, one of the greatest mistakes of Fire Emblem Three Houses is that these dudes do not have an evil group name. It is so awkward and ridiculous to have to say those who slither in the dark every single time. Like, using that term to describe them for, like, some of the game in the original Three Houses at the start is fine. But, like, they should have, as they went on, like, uncovered the true name, some word, like, some Latin word meaning evil or something, I don't know. Like, literally anything other than having to say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 words every single time you want to, refer to one simple thing. Yeah, like, Organization 13, the Akatsuki, which I think Akatsuki is Japanese for dawn, etc., etc. Just literally anything that was down to 1 or 2 words tops.
And as I required their strength to wage my war, I was prepared to look the other way. When we laid out our plans, your death was something we took as a given.
All the same, you still chose to save me in the end. I don't care how you got to that decision, only that you did. You could have offered me up as a bargaining chip, but you chose not to. Instead, you closed that door just so I could be standing here today.
Monica, I
only get one life, and I can't tell you how lucky I am to share it with you. It is my destiny to walk beside you, and that makes me happier than you could ever know.
Well, thank you. That means a lot.
Edelgard's over here thinking, like, maybe I shouldn't have saved her. Oh. That support was a little weird for Monica. But I was about to say, as that conversation was happening, I was like, dude, I really love that they used Monica as a character in this game. It's so neat that she, you know, she basically is non-existent in normal Three Houses, just about. And then in this game, she, plays a major role on the Black Eagles side. I like it.
Hey.
There's so many leaders our age in Her Majesty's personal army. It's great. And I'm going to prove myself to be the best. Good for you, dude. The one thing that I really dislike about this one mission chapter is that I'm going to talk to every single character in the camp, and then I'm going to do the mission, and then I'm going to have to talk to every single character in the camp again. I'm glad Lenato made it out safely, but we killed Ingrid. I can't ever go back, can I? There's no place left for me in Fargus. Whatever part of me that was a knight is dead. Dude, you don't gotta worry. No one's ever going back to Fargus because it's gonna become part of the Empire. So long as your face remains unbothered, I trust that nothing of note has come to pass. However, common sense simply does not apply to those people, and we cannot ever know how or when they might make an appearance. Please don't let your guard down, even in Inbar. Also, this may be overly cautious of me, but be wary of Hubert. I don't think the man entirely trusts you. I'm gonna be real with you, Lysithia. I don't think Hubert entirely trusts anyone who isn't named Edelgard von Hresvelg. I'm a member of the Kingdom's House Eladur. I spearheaded our support for the Empire, but, well, during the subsequent discord, the Kingdom's army ended up marching south. And in the end, the regions north of Count Rose territory once more sided with the king.
Indeed.
Sensing the clear danger to myself in such an arrangement, I fled to the Empire. Good for you, dude. Welcome to the team. Are you familiar with the weapons associated with the saints' words, such as the Spear of Assault used by Saint, this is pronounced Keyhole, right? I think this is pronounced Keyhole. I remember hating this word and chat telling me during the Golden Deer run that it's pronounced Keyhole, I think. And of course, there's also Saint Sethleen's Caduceus Staff. Yeah, okay. The Central Church controls the majority of these sacred items, but there are no small number whose whereabouts have been lost to time. Before the war, we searched for the weapons we had lost and came upon the axe now used by Her Majesty. How nice. Well, I gave her a silver axe instead, but still. Hearing Her Majesty say what she did only makes me feel all the more inadequate, but I will never ever let such a thing happen again. You agree with me on that, yes? Yes.
You sure?
Yeah, I can't say I do. Of course, I'm just a hired sword, so we don't exactly have the same lord-vassal kind of relationship that you do. But if you mean inadequate in the sense of not being able to finish my job, then I'm with you all the way. I suspect you might say something like that. Someday I'll make you wise to Her Majesty's charms. Oh, don't worry. I'm wise. Is that our support with Monica? Yep. B rank.
You wanted to talk, Monica? This is an interesting choice of location.
I hear you've been going above and beyond lately. That you perform miracles each time you set foot on the battlefield.
Why are you complimenting me all of a sudden? I mean, things have been going well, but...
Oh, I assure you, I have no ulterior motive. You've helped me out a great deal too, after all. Even Her Majesty praises your fine work. She talks about you so much, in fact, I'm more than a little sick of hearing your name.
I don't like where this is going.
Huh. She talks about me that much? Wait a sec. You aren't jealous, are you? Nah, that wouldn't make any sense.
Indeed, it wouldn't. Why in the world would I be jealous of you? After all, you are merely Her Majesty's subordinate. Your relationship will never transcend the bounds of master and servant. It will never reach the depths of meaning that Her Majesty and I share.
Alright, mere moments after saying that I like having Monica in the game and all that, she's making me a touch uncomfortable.
So you are jealous.
In what way? I am merely telling you the truth as I see it. It never even crossed my mind how irritatingly close you and Her Majesty are. Not once.
Yeah, you basically just admitted it.
I certainly did not.
You did. You said you were jealous that Edelgard and I are so close.
The word jealous never traversed my lips.
You sure you're not, though?
Perhaps a little.
That's what I thought.
But so what if I am? I have always been Her Majesty's most devoted admirer. Hubert is one thing, but you're just a run-of-the-mill mercenary. To think Her Majesty has uttered your name more times than she has mine, it makes me want to scream my lungs out.
You've been counting?
This can't be healthy, dude. Do we have a therapist on hand?
Why even keep score? It's not a contest. All this worrying is just gonna stress you out.
It's no good. I still keep track even if I'm not worried. I cannot help it. I can't believe it has come to this. I have no other choice but to ask for your help.
What's come to what now?
I will just have to show you. Come on, let's go.
Alright, that was an event. Oh, man. That was funny. Hello, Marianne.
Do you have a moment?
Apparently, the city holds the oldest chapel in all of Fódlan. Our voices might more directly reach the goddess were we to pray there. Maybe. Dum-da-dum. Ah, it's so exciting to be heading back to the capital after so long. And since my father's a Garreg Mach and I don't have to see him, maybe I can actually relax.
That reminds me.
You know, I've heard plenty of things about your old man, but not a word about your mom. Really? Well, my mother's is a civil official who still works in the imperial capital. She has a ton of useful skills, and people say she's an intelligent, accomplished lady. Not like me at all. Bernadetta. You know what? This chapter is a good opportunity for us to do a lot of auxiliary battles to get S ranks on, I think. Greetings, Commander. Nothing to report. Although since we're headed back to Inbar for the first time in a bit, I'd sure like to see my family. I mean, think about it. So long as we're caught up in all this fighting, there's no telling when one of us might leave home for the last time. He's not wrong. Oh, I guess we can't get Anna's shop. Oh, Anna's shop is just here by default in this chapter. Okay.
Got a sec?
It's been quite a while since I've felt this kind of atmosphere. Is this what soldiers mean when they speak of the calm after the battle? We had some sad farewells and a lot of pain, but I suppose we should try to be happy that we're alive and able to return safely home. The Middle Frank Opera Company has been tasked with providing performances as a way to thank the Imperial Army for its service. As a formerly featured songstress, perhaps I could do more to show my own appreciation for all of your efforts. Please don't. Yeah, I'm good. Maybe save your efforts for the folks who are a little more run down. What a terrifically sad response. I'm sorry, Manuel. I just don't really care for you as a character all that much. Returning now? How tedious. Had we kept fighting, I may have enjoyed myself. You want to go back to the front, brother? You want to head back to the front? I'm sure Edelgard would send you if you asked. No, I was ordered to return with her and must obey. I like Yuritsa. Wolf Paladin, welcome to stream.
Deal. So here's my pitch.
Inbar's been around a lot longer than Garreg Mach. Of course, the Imperial Palace and sprawling city didn't exist in the old days. But now the town houses one of the largest markets in Fódlan. Every merchant dreams of making it big there.
Welcome.
Welcome. No stat boosting, you just restock the other stuff. I'm gonna go ahead and buy 3 advanced seals. I think it'll be worth it.
Is that the one?
I'm not gonna buy intermediate seals until I run out of intermediate seals, to be honest. I think that's the way to look at it.
Hear me out.
I can let my hair down for the first time in a while. Same for you, yeah? We could well end up dead in the next battle, so we'd better spend our coin while we can. Haha! Speaking of Inbar, that reminds me. I haven't been there since I infiltrated the black market to get Vajra Mushti back after it was stolen from my mother's hometown, whatever those words mean. What are you talking about? You infiltrated a black market? You're even more reckless than I thought. It was a long time ago. No point making a fuss about it now. Is he for real? I guess that's something I would know if I had played Cindered Shadows. I wonder, whatchamacallit? The Three Houses DLC has 4 characters, right? Constance, Happy, Balthus, and then Yuri, I think? We haven't run into Yuri yet. I wonder if he doesn't show up. That'd be weird.
It's all hopeless.
Returning to the capital means returning to the Imperial Palace, yes. I wonder if there is truly a place for me there. It will surely mean suffering at the hands of the daughters of nobles my family once mingled with. Well, since the nobility seems to hold little love for you, perhaps you will act as my shield.
By the way,
I rather like the church in the capital. It is quite old, but possessed of a pleasant atmosphere. 1,000 years ago, St. Saros appeared in Inbar and guided the founding of Adrestia. She also built Garreg Mach, though in the end she left the Empire entirely. Given such history, I believe the Church of Saros ought to be protecting the people of Adrestia even now. And yet...
Listen up.
This will be my first time in Inbar. It's the biggest city in Fódlan, yeah? Whenever there are too many people around, I tend to freeze up. Might not be a good idea to head to the busiest city around. I mean, if I let a sigh slip there... What you talking about? What do you mean? Oh, nothing. I just hated if something annoying happened. I feel that. I hate annoying things happening. Hey, Mercedes, welcome. Is it really alright that I came to Inbar? I'm certainly glad to be alongside him, but no, it's nothing. I chose to walk away from everyone, and now I have no other options. Yeah, but Yuritsa is, like, so much better than Dimitri. You made the right pick.
Yes.
Flesh and I have been allowed to return to the Imperial capital and see our family for the first time in some while.
Way to go!
Plus, we succeeded in protecting Aryan Road, so we can go back with our heads held high. Exactly so. You've helped me so many times, Rogue, and I thank you for it. Yeah, you were amazing. I hope we can work together again someday. I'll keep my fingers crossed. Alright, let's talk to Arval last. That's what I normally do, I think.
Hey there.
Randolph is the son of the previous Count Bergles' second wife and one who caused much familiar strife. What? Oh yeah, Randolph is related to, Caspar. They mentioned that, didn't they? That Randolph and Flesh are like his aunt and uncle or something, even though Flesh is younger than him. Count Bergles' second wife. You know what? I believe it. I wonder what Caspar and the others think of a man like that being welcomed as a leader. But taken to excess, I fear it will invite backlash, though perhaps this conversation is lost on you, seeing as you are a beneficiary yourself. Honestly, I think Caspar would be cool with it. He's a cool dude.
All right.
Oh yeah, a triumphant return. Or maybe it's not quite triumphant enough for me to say that. Anyway, we're headed back, but my father has entered Aryan Road and is keeping an eye on the Kingdom Army. Apparently, Duke Gertz, the Minister of Foreign Affairs, was sent to Murden in his place. He fights pretty well, right? Like, well enough that maybe you'll be able to hold it?
Well met.
The war has started, yet the air in the capital remains rather cheery, no? I suppose they can't even imagine the possibility of losing, and while I want to think that way myself, one never knows what fate has in store. Why, what would happen if instead the Empire itself were suddenly invaded? Oh gee, I wonder. This is the flaw of recruiting so many characters, so much to talk to at the start of every chapter. I'm surprised Edelgard would choose to return.
Excellent.
I thought her the type to continue a fight at any cost, but I'm quite glad to be proven wrong.
You sure?
She never struck me as being the stubborn sort, at least not past the point of reason. In that case, it seems your assessment was correct. Regardless, I'm just glad to be away from the fighting. Alright. We are almost done chatting with everyone. And then we'll probably look at spending activity and training points and then doing some auxiliary matches.
Do you have a moment?
Though the war has calmed for a time, that does not mean we no longer have things to do. We must reorganize our army as well as change our relations with the other regions. I will need to lean on your strength more than ever in such times.
Right on.
Leave it to me, boss. So long as it's business fit for a merc, I'll get it done. You're capable of handling a great number of things, not merely mercenary matters.
What do you think?
We are returning to the capital soon, yes? Am I having time to go back to Brigid? It would give me happiness to visit home after a time of such longness.
Let's see.
Brigid's your homeland, right? Place beyond the sea? Guess you'd have to sail out there.
Ah,
Yes, I would be riding with a trade ship, as I am lacking a vessel of my own. Although someday I'm hoping to travel back and forth as I please. That would be pretty pog.
What can I do for you?
I have come from Inbar to welcome you and give congratulations for the many battles you have weathered thus far. I must say, you have proven to be a grand success. Her Majesty certainly does have a keen eye for talent. True, there have been a few stalemates, but there can be no doubt that the Empire will emerge the ultimate victor in this war.
Frankly.
Oh, I was half looking at chat when I walked in here. Count Hevring is here. Interesting. Though it's rather lacking in reliability, I've heard whispers that an attempt on Her Majesty's life is currently in the works. Wouldn't surprise me. Just in case, I brought along soldiers to meet her, though I admit my worry may be unfounded.
You sure?
Hey, better safe than sorry, especially when we're not even inside the city yet. After all, the best time to attack is just before the enemy thinks they're home free. That's when their guard is always at its lowest.
How unexpected.
Wise words. I'm actually rather shocked. I know what I'm talking about. Sup, lads? I have my regrets about this campaign, but at the same time, believe I've done all that I could. I can't read. I've been reading too much.
Right.
Too many characters to talk to. It also doesn't help that it's super warm in my room right now. It's not like hot, but like I'm not uncomfortably warm, but I'm warm enough that I'm like, man, I wish it was cooler. But we have an excessive heat warning where I live right now. I think, let me look at my phone. It's 98 degrees Fahrenheit outside. 98 degrees. My air conditioner upstairs where I do all my streaming and all my work, it does the best it can, but it can only do so much in the face of 98 degree weather. I've seen a path which will lead to the Empire ruling Fódlan and opening the way to a better future. Do you think so? We were forced into a stalemate with the Alliance, the fight with the Kingdom is at a standstill, and the Central Church is alive and well. Damn. Many challenges still lie ahead on our path to victory. Yeah, we got a lot to do, but I do agree with Ferdinand. I get what Ferdinand is saying, we can do this. I thought you would say as much, now let us work together diligently for the sake of our future. If you possess that much energy, do feel free to apply it to the matters pending before you. They both got a good point. You know, Hubert's right. We gotta buckle down, and we got a lot to do that we have to accomplish. But Ferdinand, we're gonna pull it off. We're gonna pull it off, brother. I really look forward to seeing how this game ends, because although I think that the Three Houses Black Eagles route, I do think it was a missed opportunity to not have Edelgard, like, go through and fight those who slither in the dark, and having her route have, like, 2 or 3 more chapters than what it did. I do really like how Black Eagles ended with the final battle against the Immaculate One and all. I suppose one's hometown will always hold a significant place in their heart. There's a wide range of emotions coursing through you right now, from an unbridled sense of freedom to a feeling of relief. But I cannot quite wrap my head around why, as I have no hometown myself, at least not as far as I remember. I live in Florida, 90 plus all summer with 70% humidity. Well, you know, that's what you get for living in Florida. I live in Tennessee, and we normally get a couple of weeks the year in, mostly in July, but sometimes in June as well. We had 1 week of June this year that was abnormally hot. We usually have a couple that hit up, like, get near 100 degrees. But typically, in my experience, we settle around, like, 90 degrees being, like, the top, other than those really hot weeks. I would like these really hot weeks to stop. Give me all that.
Everything has its use.